Let's take a look now at simple sentences and compound sentences. Let's start with the example in the video. I went to the park. A simple sentence always has a subject and a verb. Here are more examples. I read a book, subject and verb. I will sing to you, and we started. Those are all simple sentences. Now, to make a simple sentence into a compound sentence, we need to add something called a conjunction. And a conjunction can be one of these words. And it is an acronym, actually, that makes it easy to remember. Fanboys, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. And this is what they mean. For is a formal way to say because, and is connecting two simple sentences together. Nor is a negative followed by a negative. But is a contrast, going in one direction, but then a different direction. Or talks about alternatives or choices. Yet is another way to say but at the same time. And so is another way to say for this reason. Let's take a look at some sentences using these conjunctions. And using these conjunctions means these simple sentences, like I went to the park, become compound sentences. I went to the park, for it was a nice day. Another way to say that would be, let me get these out of the way, because. I went to the park because it was a nice day. Don't forget that for is a formal way to say because. Here's the example from the video. I went to the park and I saw a dog. So and connects two simple sentences, making a compound sentence. I do not like olives. That is a negative sentence. Nor do I like corn. That would be also negative because of nor. So nor is negative, negative. I went to the park, but it was closed. Here, but indicates a contrast. I went to the park, but it was closed. So I went to the park is heading in one direction, but it was closed. Too bad, heading in another direction. That's a way to think of it. I will go to the park, or I will stay home, or connecting these two simple sentences gives alternatives. So that's the use of or. Now, it is a compound sentence. I saw a dog, yet it didn't see me. Don't forget that yet means but at the same time. Here's another way we could say it. I saw a dog, but at the same time, it didn't see me. Here's a simple sentence. I read a book, so that is why I'm late. In this compound sentence, so means for this reason. Here's another way to say it. I read a book. For this reason, that is why I am late. And that is how you create compound sentences. Two simple sentences connected with a conjunction. Let's take a look now at complex sentences. If you remember, a simple sentence has a subject and a verb. For example, I went to the park. That's the sentence that was in the video. I is your subject, went is the verb. What I'm going to do for the purpose of a complex sentence, rather than calling it a simple sentence, it is now going to be an independent clause. And an independent clause is exactly the same thing as a simple sentence, but because it is a complex sentence, it has also a dependent clause. Now, what's the difference? If you recall, a simple sentence is a complete thought. I went to the park is a complete thought. We're replacing a simple sentence by name with an independent clause. A dependent clause is not a complete thought. If we use the example here from the video, running all the way. Running all the way is not a complete thought. It cannot stand on its own as a sentence. So, what is a complex sentence? Complex sentence has an independent clause and a dependent clause. It has a part that is a complete thought and a part that is not a complete thought. Let's take a look at other examples. I read a book. That is a complete thought. While I was waiting is not a complete thought. Of course, if you take out this word, I was waiting, yeah, that's a complete thought. But the fact that it has this word here makes it an incomplete thought. Let's take a look at some other sentences. We started, that's a complete thought. When they arrived is not a complete thought. Do you see how that's a package deal? Independent clause, complete thought, with a dependent clause, an incomplete thought. Last example, I will sing to you, a complete thought. Because it's your birthday, an incomplete thought. Now, these words that I have written in red are what we call subordinate conjunctions. All that means is that they end up connecting the two, but the subordinate conjunction is before the rest of this idea here, which is the incomplete thought. It just situates the two actions here. You might be also wondering, is it possible to change the order? Absolutely. We're going to do this, and then we can just do this. And I want to show you something here. If we do switch the order, Be absolutely sure that there is punctuation. I don't have punctuation here, but while I was waiting, you would have to put a comma right here. I read a book. When they arrived, comma, we started, period. Because it's your birthday, comma, I will sing to you. And that is a complex sentence structure.